You know, the thing about this whole gangster movie nexus is, again, there was a time when they were financing movies, when they used to keep a tab on the actresses. And Abu Salem's, of course, affair with an actress became very, very public. Also, the extradition of Abu Salem, because he had gone and sat in Portugal, and an undertaking had to be given to the Supreme Court of Portugal. So, the point I'm trying to make is Mumbai police used honest lawyers, because these guys also had lawyers on their payroll. You know, they ran it like a
Fantastic money they
syndicate.
used to pay. Well, to put it on record, Rishi, to support your viewpoint, all the criminal cases against them were and are acquitted. Okay? Only exception is 17 years before, in this Brahmastra law which I made, Arun Gowli has been convicted in Kishore Jamsandekar murder,
Life
and
imprisonment,
he got a life imprisonment. 17 years he spent. Now, this Abu Salem, Portugal, you said, I was in the CBI. CBI only brought him there. I worked at it, and he was brought from Lisbon. And then again, he's been convicted because we brought him and put him for 3 cases only under extradition we can do. That is his role in 93 blasts and Pradeep Jain and one more case. All of them are convicted. He is in Taloja jail, and he is wanting to go back to enjoy all his leftover property there. And of course, he ruled the roost and controlled the Bollywood under threat and made tons of money. Others are also doing. For example, this Lawrence Bishnoi is also targeting the cinema actor, the famous cinema actor, or Disha Patni and various others, so that they can make the easy money, cozy living by sending a call and take money from them.
And I remember in the Middle East, when Dawood was living in Dubai, Sharjah became like the gravitational pull for movie stars to go and sit with him and watch the match with him. And I believe that was the unprecedented cricket betting that was happening there.
Yeah, listen, Rishi, there was a time when even ordinary people felt very happy to be associated with these gangsters. Policemen also were very happy. Some of the black sheep were associated with the gangsters. And the cinema stars, I can only pity with them and sympathize with them, because they had no other way. They cannot say no and still survive. So they went there and cozied with them and came back. This cricket match and photograph, these are the last photographs of Dawood Ibrahim. After that, he has never been photographed by anybody. So all that is, even he is associated with a cinema star and things like that. But then there is a need of the hour where they were not given 100% protection and things like that. So the funding and financing was also there. Earlier you asked me about that. So for example, Mukaddar Ka Sikandar, Diwar, various other movies are funded by them. And then they eulogized them. And then they were shown as larger than life and a fantastic portrayal of them. For example, Dayavan or Nayakan about Varadarajan Mudaliyar, you know, Tamil movie. Oh, Kamal Hassan has done a wonderful. Kamal Hassan made it live forever. Also, various other movies like that they had made. Gangster movies are dime a dozen, Once Upon a Time, and this and that and all. So they were all funded and financed. And this Arun Gowli you mentioned, he made 2 movies, Daddy 1, Daddy 2. Arjun Rampal acts as that. Then various things like that, you know. So that is an unfortunate. But after we ripped it open, after Rakesh Roshan attempt to shoot him, we ripped it open, and then we got the Chori Chori Chupke director and one more guy 6 years punishment, and the producer, our Bharat Shah, he also was convicted. After that, the industry got money, got an industry status, and the money is coming from government. Banks like IDBI, NFDC and so many others are funding and financing. But even today, if they are taking money from gangsters like Abu Salam and making movies, it is their choice. Yeah.
I respect the fact, and I want to make this very public because you're a modest man, that your heart has always been in social upliftment, even when you're trying to clean up the state of society as a top cop. For example, you mentioned Gadchiroli and you mentioned fighting the Naxals there. You also set up schools for students in those areas.
Exactly.
Because that's the only way to empower the next generation. Otherwise, the next generation will also want to be like the previous generation.
Cops only. Now, I want to elaborate on that. I made 3 schools, top schools worth crores of rupees, one in Gadchiroli, one in Chandrapur, one in Thane. The Thane one, I want all of you to visit a website called thanepoliceschool.com. 70,000 square feet, where one room, 82 children and one teacher was existing. We have 3,000 children now, and policemen pay only 25%, but at the end of the school they get first class or distinction and nothing less. That guarantee to the policemen changed their lives. A lot of chartered accountants, doctors, engineers. I know a boy, son of a constable called Mihir Shinde. He is studying in BITS Pilani. BITS Pilani is one of the top tech schools in the country. So that has changed their life. Now, what is my selfish interest? I also made 30 gymnasiums in Mumbai, Hrishi, in all police stations worth 25 lakhs each. 3 of them located at Naigaon, Worli and Kalina are worth 1 crore. So, training centers and various things we made. For example, 43,000 policemen, I head to toe medically I examined to tell them how good is their health and how good they change. That is why the gymnasiums came, where they can go and do the build up exercises. So, these things made me showing that I am fond of them, fond of their welfare, I take care of their families. Education and health are the 2 most important things for the policeman. So, they would give their life when we ask for it.
You know, there have been so many interesting cases, shootouts, blasts during your time, and you have clinically dismantled these gangs, these nefarious elements. And it's very difficult to elaborate all in one interview. I urge all of you to go and get the Brahmastra Unleashed, a first-person account of how the Mumbai Underworld was annihilated. It's D. Sivanandan sir's book, where he's been very candid, very honest and open about how he's handled these various elements. The Pujaris is another, the 2 brothers, which is the Ravi and Hemant Pujaris, is another case that you
No, they are the latest crop, I must say. They came along with a tech revolution. When this 80-82, when Daud Ibrahim came and shot the nephew of Karim Lala and various ding dong battle, 100 of them have been shot amongst each other, the gangsters. That was a zamana where technology wasn't there. There was no mobile, there was no internet, whereas these guys went abroad and used a system called virtual private network, where when the calls came, for example, I discovered as a part of my strategy that I can tap the telephone of Daud Ibrahim or Chota Shakil sitting in Karachi. That was a revelation for us. It was not done earlier. Eye-opening thing. The next one is Cambodia, Malaysia, where Chota Rajan was there. How did I do? Because all the businessmen, thousands of them came to me and said, sir, they are giving a foreign number and unless you call, I'll shoot. And they have been shooting them. So, I went and found out this could be done and we tapped. So, we got the intelligence from the source, horse's mouth. Now, before they said go and shoot XYZ actor, we were waiting for them to come and exchange took place in whichever favor you know very well. The point about this Pujari Brothers, you said, they used a virtual private network where their location is not known at all.
Wow.
So, that revolves. For example, tapping here like this machine, we sit there and find out 1 minute it will show South Africa, the next it will show Sharjah, then it will show Canada. So, we didn't know where. For all that, they could be doing it from the next door in Mumbai. So, that is what they evolved. But we have arrested them. They have come. This Pujari has come to Karnataka police and he is now in the custody of the Mumbai police. So, that is a new evolution. So, in the same breath, I must say the new gangsters are the cyber criminals, the cyber slaves taken to Vietnam, Myanmar, Cambodia and all that. Today, it is much more profitable to be a gangster in the cyber area and make profit of 22,282 crores in a year. That was the last year's figure. So, why go and kill people? Now you do, प्यार से bank account से निकाल देना, send a bug and remove the money. That is a new way of gangsterism.
The first salvo of Makoka, is that a right way to describe it? Makoka?
Yeah, Makoka.
Which sent the underworld reeling was the Milind Vaidya firing case.
Correct. You want me to tell something about it?
Yes, I do.
See, this happened. This Milind Vaidya was shot few years before when he was coming in his safari early morning in Bandra flyover ke niche. The gangsters went and shot him and that was below the neck. He survived because of the refraction or whatever it is. First attempt, survived. Cat has 9 lives. He is also more. The next is the Daud Ibrahim gang, Chota Shakil boy, youngster called Azizuddin. He had come from Sharjah, Dubai, he's from Hyderabad and various places like that. He came in a Maruti 800 car and he had a AK-47. This Milind Vaidya, being 2 times mayor of Mumbai, was ruling the roost, sitting on the footpath and having his darbar, having his drink and darbar. And when they came and fired from a moving car, it was a volley of bullets. 3 of them hanging around Milind Vaidya were shot dead, and Milind Vaidya was shot, but he was not dead. Immediately, it is neighborhood of Hinduja, so he was taken there. He survived. Even today, he is alive. How the Makhoka becomes Brahmastra is the first story. Within 1 year of this event, they were arrested, they were charge sheeted, they were tried, and they were convicted. 10 of them got hanging to start with, and a collective fine of 1 crore 5 lakhs levied on them. The hanging was converted in the appeal by them into death, not death sentence, life sentence. So this actually sent the shock wave amongst the gangsters. ऐसा भी कोई लॉ है जिसमें बेल नहीं मिलता है 1 साल के अंदर. For example, this Malegaon case 20 years later got acquitted. Your train blast case 20 years later it got acquitted. Whereas here is a law where you can be hung if it comes to that, or convicted for a lifetime within a year. It is almost unthinkable under the given Indian judicial system. That is the power of Makhoka, or the Brahmastra, as I call it.
1997, of course, the Samant, that particular death really shook the city, you know. That's one incident. And the other is Sanjay Dutt during the blast, whereby he said, oh, you know, I just kept these weapons over the night. I took them for protection. Both were in the news for quite a while.
Listen, Datta Samant has been only a victim. So he is a poor victim in the category of Gulshan Kumar or Vallabh Thakkar and various others. He was a tough trade union man. He has nothing to do with this. He is only a victim. Whereas this Sanjay Dutt is not a victim. He knowledgeably he had all the weapons. He allegedly had 2 trucks of vehicles parked and it was sent to Karnataka and things like that. For a protection, 5 AK-47s and 15 hand grenades, how many hands you have to fire? Both the hands you take. And what kind of a protection required in Mumbai city when the police is at your beck and call? But rightfully so, after all that, his father was a fantastic person, Mr. Sunil Dutt. I have a lot of respect for him. With his efforts, the Tada tag on him was removed, and whatever it is, legally I must say. But then he got convicted under the Arms Act, where he held arms in his possession in a city where it is prohibited. So that is Sanjay Dutt's role. But I must say he did get involved and he knew all the consequences, and then he is like that. Deservingly, he got the punishment.
People compare Mumbai police to Scotland Yard, courtesy of officers like you. You know, how they are able to unearth the biggest mysteries in the world. Interrogation techniques. Much has been said about Mumbai police interrogation techniques. Would you say that is appropriately used all the time? Would you say they're up to the international standards?
You know, international standards or otherwise, the taste of the pudding is in the eating. How many cases solved, how many cases were prevented, how many things worked very well. There are certain things which has gone awry also. For example, Khaja Yunus in interrogation ended in his death, and 17 policemen have been. This is after I left the joint CP crime job. So things can go wrong like that. But coming back to you, Scotland Yard, yes, certainly. There is a movie made by Madhukar Zende's arrest of Charles Sobaraj, and our own detection of all cases. I must say that in those 3 years when I visited for any case, it was detected. Any case I visited was detected because of the leadership and the policeman's devotion to the leaders. And you say that this has to be done, it was done. So this is the book which salutes the bravery of the policeman, and I must say this book is not about me or about Mr. Mendonca. This is about the Mumbai police officers. It's a tribute. Page number 3, I say it is devoted, it is dedicated to the Mumbai police, who are the brave policemen, who are my family. I say Mumbai police is my family, so I mean that. So this interrogation technique, Hrishi, is fantastic. But I must say it is not standard. It is changes from person to person. So like a person like Sanjay Dutt, you don't need to interrogate at all. He will just melt and cry and say that this is it and all. And whereas tough nuts are there where nothing, nothing interrogation works. But then it all depends upon their training, their toughness and various other things. But then the interrogation technique changes from person to person, crime to crime, and the variety. Like for example, a tough terrorist is different from trained. They are trained by the army and navy of the foreign country, Pakistan specifically. Their interrogation is different, whereas the local gangsters are different, other criminals are different. Like that it is.
The Aguiar Commission report harmed the reputation of the force for a while,
For a short time.
for a short time.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on that?
See, in a way, I must say it needed for course correction too. Whatever the Aguiar Commission report is wrong. It is proved by the judgment by Justice Anjana Desai and one more judge, and later the Supreme Court. But however, I would say, sweet are the use of adversity, as Shakespeare would say. So this adversity of the Aguiar Commission report going against us gave them the respite and time to go into hiding and think about what I have done wrong or how it could be done better. So this is what resulted in our thinking cap coming on the head and thinking about what went wrong, what went right, what we have to do, and we got the clear 6 lines of working from the Bombay High Court. So I must say Aguiar Commission report, however it was wrong, it proved as wrong, did work in a way that we could think about it and do the course correction. So I agree that the process was required.
You know, the police force, they always say, is strapped for time. Even today, when we go on the streets during Ganpati, there's so much of police bandobast. You wonder whether they are able to get back to their families at all.
No, they don't get back to the
don't.
families
It's
those
so-
10 days. For example, if the Prime Minister is visiting, 3 days they will be working at all places because they can't abandon those places where he is going to go and be there for some time, considerable time. So police knowingly, they know very well, the families know very well that this job is a difficult job and they have to pay a price. First price they pay is the separation from the family or the emotionally whenever the wife or the children need, the husband is on duty somewhere else. He is not able to attend the school functions, college function, family functions, very many things go wrong. So that way policeman is given to stress. High blood pressure and diabetes is a very common disease amongst policemen. Stress and tension. There are shootouts where juniors go out and shoot. For example, in the police station, one constable went and shot a senior inspector Joshi. So then that is small things. But you must know when the stress and depression is combined, giving them a gun is a very dangerous thing. So family problems are there and job demands are there. This time 24/7 is there and all festival days they are on duty, that is also a pressure. So but then we have to work, we have learned to live with that. Still police is a very considered a good job when it comes to recruitment.
Yeah, so my question is just that, it segues beautifully into it. Are more and more people coming to the police force? Do we need to expand the police force? Do we need more people to come in? Are we well equipped?
You know, equipment wise, we are very well equipped, arms, ammunition, boats, cars and things like that. But as far as the cyber crime is concerned, we have to equip every day because every day artificial intelligence is bringing something new, but you can't stop the rising sun from rising. So that has to be continuously, we have to go. Even that law, IT Act 2000, where this is all considered, is getting outmoded every day because every day science and technology, your Google, Meta and various others are coming with new inventions which can't be stopped. So criminals are the first to use. For example, quantum computer. For example, you are looting of the Bank of Bangladesh by cyber criminals to the tune of $83 million is not been detected since 8 years. Our own Pune, Cosmos Bank, 94 crores in 3 days was swiped and cleaned away. Not a single rupee has been recovered, not a single criminal has been arrested. So in that thing, we are falling short in software training, taking important people, taking trained people, qualified people. There we are. But if we talk about the guns training, we got a NSG located in Marol because of the last fiasco in
Yeah,
2611. They're dedicated to Mumbai and Maharashtra 24/7. We also created a Force 1. You know, I was the commissioner of police after the attack on 2611. I made an impressive anti-terrorism mechanism that nothing happened after that. Touch wood, it should be like that only. Force 1 is a carbon copy of NSG dedicated to Maharashtra police, and they have not been tested and tried. Let it be like that only. But they are armed to the teeth and trained so well. So if we say number of policemen per population of 1 lakh is the lowest in the world, we need more and more people. And do you know existing vacancy as per the 1960 yardstick? There is 22% vacancy in the existing strength. Like if 100 policemen were to be there, only 80 are there. And 22% recruitment, the government doesn't allow you to do that. But then if you need the more actual manpower meeting the requirement, we need at least 200% more policemen. But the government would never come because it involves cost. And we are not a productive. See, if you don't have give you the security umbrella, your business doesn't work, your building doesn't work, your industry doesn't work. But our protection is invisible. The absence of air you feel, the absence of security you feel, but your presence is not felt. So, commensurate number of policemen, we are falling short.
My last question is about you yourself. You've been such a daring officer. You never took personal protection, Z security, whatever it is. Was there a point that you and your two wonderful daughters, your wife, was very worried about your personal safety? Was there a threat to your life? Or was it a regular occurrence? Or did you come very close to having your life taken by somebody?
No. That's a kind of a little bit of a over exaggeration, I must say. I must say that the tremendous respect you commanded because of the honesty, integrity, and you don't owe anything to anybody. And the politicians stayed away, they never interfered, leave alone the gangsters. The gangsters never had the guts to call or threaten or send letters and things like that. My wife and children, yes, they would have felt a little unsafe during those times. But then the not having police was the protection, because having police is a burden actually. It takes away your entire privacy, and I never felt happy having a policeman with a gun hanging around with me. I went alone, and maybe in Tamil there is a proverb which your listeners should hear. Yamarkum kudiyallom namanai anjom. That means I am not a subject of anybody and I am not afraid of death. We die only once, die a heroic death. And then if you are not afraid of death, the entire doors of possibility, they are all open for you. The minute you say I am Z-scale security, I have aage, piche, upar, niche, gaadi hai, policemen with guns, how will you believe, how your businessmen will believe? Because 10,000 people were getting calls every week or every day. I tell them, under my protection, you are well protected. Nothing will happen to you. Nothing happened to them once they came to us. How do I give them, and if I am seen with policemen surrounded all the time with multiple guns? I gave them, I am going around without any protection while eliminating the mafia. You are also under protection. Touch wood, whether it is bluff or real call, nothing. We took away 2,500 weapons, Hrishi. We detained 1,600 criminals for 1 year. And we did a new law called MCOCA. These are the tricks of the trade. I am letting you know. These are all mentioned in this book. People can read. But while you are taking all these things, you are taking the fangs of the cobra. I hope you appreciate. And when I am doing a tough job of eliminating them from the roots, if they do anything to my security, heavens or hell would fall on them. They knew that. Even now they will know.
One thing I forgot to ask you was, there was a time when the Mumbai police had great records of criminals in the Mumbai Maharashtra area. And then the mafia started getting shooters from UP and Bihar, paying them less money. And they didn't even have registered weapons. You couldn't even trace those weapons because they were a katta, country-made pistol.
You are going back again in the
So
memory lane.
how did you tackle that particular influx of the UP and Bihar criminals?
Hrishi, you asked a very intelligent question, important question. This is a triangular area called Azamgarh, Pratapgarh and Jaunpur. Those guys took, there was a doctor in a car. He had a practice of 1 lakh of rupees per day, and something went wrong with the treatment of a patient. He died. His brother engaged 2 boys from Jaunpur, and for 5,000 rupees, they brought 2 kattas and went to him saying that my father has to be treated by you and all that. Innocently, he stood and talked to them. They put the gun on his chest and shot him point blank. Now, so this recruitment for easy prey, cannon fodder as you call. So policemen, when they started shooting from 1998, these guys were shot by the police and they used to be refurbished, they used to come. And then one day we requested their Kripa Shankar Singh, he is from Jaunpur, he was our Minister of Home under Mr. Gopinath Munde. We told him, sir, you go and take a press conference there saying that why are you guys coming and dying for such a small petty amount? So it worked, it worked. When we advertised saying that you guys are coming and dying for nothing, for 2,000, 5,000 rupees, it stopped, it stopped. But then your Abu Salem is from that area.
Azam,
He is Mir Sarai is the name of the village where he built a fabulous bungalow. And they come, he is a lady's tailor, blouse banata tha, satwi fail hai. Now he makes money. Everyone thinks in that area if Abu Salam can go and make millions and make movies, look good looking chikana. Obviously that was. Another thing which I borrow from your questioning earlier is this larger than life image created of these gangsters by these movies. Once upon a time, this one, that one, Diwar, Muqaddar Ka Sikad, that made this job very attractive. The next point is when the mill workers elimination of the jobs took place by the famous Datta Saman, millions of family members of lakhs of workers became jobless and they become penniless. Now suddenly they had no wherewithal. So these boys who have seen good normal life, when they are left without food, these gangsters offered them a motorcycle, a gun and a girlfriend. Looked very attractive. I will describe that as a life of a butterfly, very colorful life but short-lived. So this is the problem, the poverty and being driven to the wall. These are all reasons. Suresh Manchekar is from Lalbagh and he is a displaced mill worker's son. Arun Gowli, Empress Mill ka worker ka ladka hai. So like that, this is the societal issues we have.
Unemployed, disgruntled youth.
Correct. And jobless. And of course the inequality of income, Hrishi. Somebody is having multi-billion-dollar mansion and below that is a thriving jhoppadpatti. People do look at it now. That is the problem.
D. Sivanandan sir, IPS retired, former police commissioner of Mumbai, former director general of police Maharashtra, has written The Brahmastra Unleashed, a first-person account of how the Mumbai underworld was annihilated. Please go give this book a lot of love. It's out on all on-ground as well as online stores. It is a fantastic read and a complete eye-opener. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much. I loved our conversation and chat. Thank you.
94.3 Radio 1.